I woke up at 1:30 p.m. today. It's going to make me sound like a piece of shit, but there's an excuse. I have a good excuse. I just got back from Australia. It was like a 25, 26-hour flight. My schedule is still a little bit screwed up. Got to bed at like 3:30, 4 a.m. I've come to realize, at least doing this twice, that there's not much you can do about jet lag. You can try to change your clocks and set it early, but at the end of the day, no matter what, your body is going to feel like it's not the correct time. At this point, I'm pushing through. Anyway, Ground Up, episode 3. Let's go. All right, so today I want to talk about how to get clients. This is by far the question that I get most from people who are just curious about what I do and how I'm able to run my business as a freelancer. How do I get new clients? And also people who are just getting started out. I think that's probably one of the biggest things. Obviously, before you can have a business, you need to have clients. And I think a lot of people suspect that advertising might be involved, that you might need to market your services in some way, and I can only speak for myself. This is what has worked for me. I've never advertised, but technically I did advertise once back when I was doing weddings. I was just getting started out, and so I was doing weddings for very cheap, like pretty much like $1,000 for a wedding. It was just me. I would go out, film the whole day, and edit. And you know what? When you're just getting started out, $1,000 for a 10-hour day plus a couple weeks of editing is amazing. But when I was just getting started out, I had this idea. My brother Mark helped me out with it. So I said, all right, let me do a free wedding film giveaway. And that's how I marketed it. And basically, you have to just give me your email address, and then you are submitted to win a free wedding film. And I got, I think about maybe 50 to 80 people submit for this free wedding film. I did the kind of automatic drawing, and it happened to be somebody I went to high school with won it. And then the idea was like, hey, let me give 15% off your next wedding film to everybody who didn't win the giveaway. And the fucked up thing about it, and which backfired entirely, is that not only did I not get any new clients from this, nobody booked and partook in that offer. One of the people that submitted for the free wedding film was already a client where they had agreed to make a wedding film with me. I got an email from them, and they said, hey, by the way, I just got this 15% off. Can I use this towards the wedding that we already had booked? And I was like, yep. So basically I ended up losing 15% of the revenue that I would have made from a wedding sale I already had, because I was trying to be clever and trying to make this advertising and marketing strategy work. It didn't. And you know what? I'm sure that there's many ways in which advertising and marketing can work for you. And I'm sure you can read like plenty of books and podcasts and all that stuff about how to do it. But that's not what worked for me. What worked for me was really building a reputation. I started to get a little bit of work. I just took whatever I could get. I did work for very cheap, $100 to film for 10 hours, which to me, it was great, because I was like, I could work at a coffee shop, or I could do something I love and make $10 an hour doing that. So that ended up working out for me. And really, in terms of getting new clients, it snowballed from the beginning. From the first 1 to 5 clients I was able to get, they were able to recommend me. Other people saw my work from that, and then it built. It built very slow. It's a small snowball. The mountain that this snowball is rolling down isn't very steep, and it takes a while to build up those clients over time. But it does work as long as you are consistently delivering. You have to be relentless about delivering and making your clients happy. Like, the number one thing for me that was more important than money, more important than even the craft and the art of what I was doing, was to deliver for my clients, to make them happy. And maybe that's just part of my personality, is that, which could be a flaw, is that I want to please people and make them happy. But in terms of a business perspective, there is nothing more important than that. So oftentimes now, like, I'll give 2 to 3 revisions per video with a project with a new client. And I will sometimes say, if we're just not hitting it, we're not nailing it, and the client's not happy, I'm not going to charge them extra to do 1 to 3 additional revisions to tweak it, to change it, to make sure that they're entirely happy. I'm not going to try to nickel and dime a client just to make a few extra bucks. It's not worth it to me. There's 3 very important ways that you can build a reputation that clients will recommend you. Number 1 is just be awesome to work with, be professional. You have to just be incredibly responsive. You have to be a joy to work with, be fun. And at the same time, don't be too casual. Like, you need some element of professionalism. You need to be able to be prompt with them and let them know how this relationship is going to work out. Number 2 is deliver early. I can't underestimate this enough. That's why you should give yourself a little bit of extra time. So I might say, but this video it might take me 3 to 4 days to go from beginning to end in post-production, but I'm going to say 2 to 3 weeks. I'm going to make sure that we have as much time as possible to be able to complete this project. Otherwise, the client isn't going to be happy. So you have to manage their expectations a lot. Number 3 is communicate effectively. And I kind of touched on this in point 1, but you have to communicate with your client. The only times that I've ever had problems with clients has been when I didn't communicate. I remember I did this shoot with Red Bull early on when I just started shooting. Well, it was technically a marketing agency that had Red Bull had hired. I shot the video and I just got into 5D Mark II and I was super happy, super excited about what I had shot and knew that the quality was better than anything that I'd ever shot before. At the end of the shoot, I was like, oh, by the way, do you need anybody to edit this? Because I could edit it myself. I could turn it around pretty quickly for you. And they said, yeah, that'd be amazing. We'd love for you to edit it for us. We'll be in touch. So I took the footage back. So I was planning on, listen, I'm going to go above and beyond. I'm going to get this video finished within a week. I'm going to get this done by Friday. The shoot was on a Monday. I was like, I'm going to knock this out and finish it by Friday. You know what? If it takes a little bit longer, that's fine, but it's still going to look amazing. Like a day later, I went up to my cabin with my parents. It's up in the middle of the woods. There's no Wi-Fi, there's no service. And I was like, oh, I'll work on it up here. Take a little break for a couple of days. I'll come back and then I'll send it to them and they'll be incredibly happy. Well, I'm off the grid. I think I'd send him an email saying, hey, by the way, I'm going to be off the grid for the next 2 days, but I'll be back and then we'll finish up the project as soon as I get back. And then I get back from the cabin and I have all these emails and I have all these phone calls from this guy from this marketing agency that's just pissed, and he's screaming on the phone. He's saying how they need this project done by Thursday, or it's not even worth it, or there's no reason for us to even make this video. And he's just going off, and I'm like, holy shit. I thought I was ahead of the ball. I thought I was going to be killing it and crushing it with this project, and then I was going to have a client for life. Instead, I never worked with them again. That was the end of our working relationship because yes, okay, I think you could look at this and say, you know what, this is his fault because he did not communicate the deadline. He should have said, hey, we need this video done by Friday. If it's really that urgent, of course he should have been the one to do that. But what I've learned is no matter what, no matter whose fault it really is, you have to blame yourself. I could have completely avoided this situation, had a client for life, if I had just communicated and asked him a few questions. Hey, when do you need this done by? Boom. Literally that entire conflict, that entire problem is out the window and we don't have to worry about it anymore. But now I've completely screwed myself up. So communicate effectively and ask questions very early on. And the more and more you do this, the more you know the 3 to 5 questions that you have to ask on every single project. And from that problem, that problem, never had another problem with communicating about deadlines again. So in a lot of ways, this is why I say I think it's important to have mentors, because I go through this problem, this issue. Now, just hearing this alone, if you can implement that advice, it's going to go a long way, and you're probably going to alleviate 90% of the trouble that I had gone through myself. Building up a reputation, getting new clients isn't simple, but once you start to get those first few clients and you deliver and you're amazing to work with, you deliver early, you communicate properly, these people are going to love you and they are going to want to work with you again, first of all, and they're going to want to recommend you to new people, new clients to work with. And as long as you can build that reputation and keep moving forward, no matter how small that snowball starts to accumulate, you're going to build up a client base. That's it. We'll be back with episode 4 next week. Thanks for tuning in. See ya. If you like this podcast, please subscribe on YouTube. It's called The Ground Up Show.